Have you ever dreamed of something so big, only to have a sudden twist of fate shatter everything in the blink of an eye? Have you ever stood before a painful choice between continuing to chase your dream or giving it up to make a living? And if, at that very moment, a stranger appeared and offered you a strange challenge, would you dare to accept it? Lucas was just a 17-year-old boy living in a quiet little town. His family was so poor that every coin was as precious as gold. His father worked as a laborer in a local factory, sweating every day under the roar of heavy machines. His mother was a gentle woman, spending her days at home, making sure her family had warm meals and clean clothes. Lucas and his younger sister were still in school, carrying within their hearts the simple hopes of youth. Lucas was a bright student, always nurturing a big dream. One day, he would become an engineer. Despite the hardships of life, he studied diligently, holding on to that dream as if it were a treasure he could never lose. But then, one dark day changed everything. His father suffered a serious accident at the factory. A machine malfunctioned unexpectedly, taking his life. The news struck like lightning, leaving the whole family feeling as if they had fallen into an endless abyss. The only source of income was gone. His mother, who had never worked outside the home, had no choice but to start sewing clothes to earn some money. But the work was irregular, and the little she earned was barely enough to buy rice for their meals. Seeing his mother grow thinner each day, Lucas decided to take responsibility. He delivered newspapers early in the morning and, after school, worked as a delivery boy, carrying vegetables and groceries to nearby houses. At night, when the whole town was fast asleep, he sat by the dim light of a candle, trying to absorb every lesson. Balancing both work and school was exhausting, but Lucas never gave up. Still, the constant weight of responsibility slowly began to drain his strength and spirit. There were days when he thought about quitting, and there were nights when silent tears rolled down his cheeks. I should quit school and work full-time. Maybe then I could earn more, he told himself. One afternoon, feeling completely worn out, Lucas left everything behind and wandered into the forest near his town. He found a quiet river, sat down, and stared at the flowing water, his heart heavy with unanswered questions. Why is life so unfair? Why does it hurt so much, even when I give my all? Suddenly, the gentle chime of a temple bell rang out in the stillness. Lifting his head, Lucas saw an old, weathered temple with crumbling walls. Inside, a monk sat in silence, eyes half closed, his face radiating an unusual sense of peace. Lucas stepped in and sat quietly beside him. After a moment, the monk opened his eyes and gave a warm smile. Seeing the sadness on Lucas's face, he softly asked, "My young friend, why do you look so troubled?" Feeling the warmth in the monk's voice and gaze, Lucas poured out his heart. The death of his father, his mother's struggles, his work, his studies, and his dream of becoming an engineer that now felt so fragile. He admitted that he had been thinking about quitting school to work full-time, but the fear of losing his dream left him torn. The monk listened silently, then smiled and said, "I can help you, but first, you must do something simple for the next 10 days. Lucas wiped his eyes and nodded. "Yes, I'm ready." The monk pointed toward an old banyan tree near the temple. "Do you see that tree? Every day, a little sparrow comes here to build her nest. I want you to destroy that nest each day. Don't ask why, just do it." Lucas was startled. Destroy a bird's nest? But why? The monk only smiled and gave no answer. And so, following the strange challenge the monk had just given, Lucas still had no idea what it truly meant. The monk simply smiled and said briefly, "No questions." The next morning, Lucas returned to the temple. From afar, he saw a small sparrow busily carrying dry twigs and tiny strands of straw, patiently weaving them into a nest high in the branches. He stood under the tree, hesitating for a long time, but the monk's words echoed in his mind. At last, Lucas reached up and shook the branch hard. The little nest swayed, then fell to the ground, breaking apart. A wave of guilt swept over him as he sighed, "What have I just done?" Still, he walked away. The next day, when he came back, Lucas was stunned to see the same sparrow had returned, once again working diligently to rebuild her nest, as if nothing had happened. Biting his lip, he shook the branch again, destroying her work. The guilt rose up in him once more, yet he stuck to his promise. Day after day, the scene repeated itself without change. Lucas destroyed, the sparrow rebuilt. And with each passing day, his heart grew heavier. How can I keep doing this to her? The question echoed in his mind, but he kept his word. No asking, no resisting. On the 10th day, Lucas stood silently beneath the tree. Up in the branches, the little sparrow had completed yet another nest. He raised his hand, then froze. This time he couldn't bring himself to do it. Leaving the nest untouched, he ran straight to the monk, breathless. "Master, I don't understand. Every day I destroy her nest, and every day she builds it again. It breaks my heart. Why did you ask me to do this?" The monk looked at Lucas with deep, gentle eyes and spoke slowly. "That, my child, is your lesson. That is Aranos. Her nest may be destroyed, but each morning she wakes with hope, diligently gathering twigs to build it again. Not because she is fearless, but because she believes that one day the breaking will stop and her nest will remain safe." He paused for a moment, then continued, "Life will do the same to you. It will break your dreams. It will test your patience. It will crush your hopes. But if you can rise again and again, just like that sparrow, and keep trying, then one day your dreams will come true." Lucas stood still, something within him shifting. The monk smiled and added, "And one more thing. This difficult phase that will not last forever. Life is always moving. If you stand firm and keep walking, one day life itself will lead you to brighter days." He concluded, "Remember two things. First, perseverance defeats failure. Second, hard times never last forever." From that day on, Lucas never looked back. He continued forward with new hope in his heart, working and studying with steady determination. Years later, through patience and persistence, he finally achieved his dream of becoming an engineer. That story leaves us with a powerful lesson. In life, there are countless times when we give our all, yet still face failure, rejection, or loss. Like Lucas, we feel weary, hopeless, and ask ourselves, "Why is this happening to me?" But life is not easy for anyone. It will test us over and over again with hardship, obstacles, and disappointment. And it is that little sparrow in the story that shows us what true strength really looks like. Continuing with the image of the tiny yet determined sparrow, the lesson the monk wished to impart becomes clearer than ever. Even though her nest was torn down every single day, she kept coming back, patiently gathering twigs and strands of straw, rebuilding it piece by piece. Day after day, she never gave up. In those tiny eyes was an unshakable belief that one day her nest would remain safe, that no one would destroy it again. That belief, along with her never give up attitude, is exactly what we need to carry in our own lives. Our dreams are no different from that nest. Life will sometimes try to break them through failures, challenges, or sudden setbacks. But if we keep moving forward, keep showing up every day, and pour our full effort into trying, just like that little sparrow, sooner or later, success will be ours. Like Lucas, the pain and trials we face today may bring us to our knees for a moment, but in time, they will become the very reasons we shine tomorrow. That's why we must never lose hope. Keep working hard. Keep planting seeds of belief. Hard times will not last forever, but your determination and effort will endure through time. Remember, those who get back up after failure and keep moving forward despite every obstacle are the ones who truly win in life. And the story of Lucas still has one final part that will make us reflect even more. Remember, those who persevere after failure and keep moving forward despite every challenge are the true victors in life. If this story has touched your heart, leave a like, so I know you too believe in the power of perseverance. Share this video with those you care about, because who knows, today you might give someone a reason not to give up. And don't forget to subscribe so we can meet here every week to share more inspiring stories, bringing hope and motivation for the journey ahead.